Flosstube. It's Erin, 2 Martini Stitcher, and I am back for Flosstube number 14. Yay! Welcome back. If you are a regular subscriber, I'm so happy to have you here. And if you've just stumbled upon this channel somehow, this is a channel about cross-stitch. That's what we talk about here, cross-stitch. All things cross-stitch. And I feel like there's a lot to show and talk about today, so it could be a long one. I'll try to pass through it fast, but there's just so much exciting stuff happening. I mean, you gotta fit it all in, right? So, beverage today. Last night we had tacos, Taco Tuesday, because it is Wednesday, August 28th. Almost done with August, guys. Almost gone. But last night we had tacos for Taco Tuesday, and so I was still in a margarita frame of mind. So I'm having a margarita, but it's a cheater margarita because like 9 times out of 10 in our house, we do these little like lime-maritas and just zhuzh them up with a little extra tequila. Makes them extra yummy. Matter of fact, when we were at Mumford & Sons concert a couple weekends ago, my husband bought one. They had like the big cans that they were selling at the concessions, and he got one when we were there and we shared it. And it was like so sweet. We forgot how sweet they are if you don't add a little extra tequila to kind of balance out the sweetness. That's why we add the extra tequila, to balance out the sweetness. Anyhow, how was everybody's week? It felt like a crazy week. I feel like it was such a busy week. I feel like I haven't been here in 2 weeks. My oldest had her 18th birthday last Friday. That was super exciting. So, her girlfriend and a couple other friends had planned a whole day of surprises for her, and I was kind of helping them set up an evening picnic type thing, and so that was lots of fun. And also on Friday, my youngest had back to school days, kind of like she's going to a brand new middle school. It's just opening. So in addition to like going and paying all the fees and getting your picture taken, it was also a tour of the brand new school because this was the first time anybody could get in to see it. And she starts school next Tuesday. Yikes. That came up fast. I know a lot of you have had kiddos back to school for a few weeks now, but we're just getting there and we're just winding down our summer. And it really feels like summer today. If I'm a little dewy, guys, it's because it got warm here all of a sudden again in Seattle. So it's like 88. And for us, like you start flirting with 90, that feels really hot here. So it's definitely a messy bun day. If I look a little dewy, it's because it's a little warm here in the Seattle area. So it's just a busy weekend and busy week. And now we're in the last weekend of summer break before school starts. Although my youngest is a little salty because she's the only one that has to go back to school next week. The other 2 don't start for another week or 2 because the colleges just start a little later. So that's what we've been doing here. Hope you guys all had a good weekend, got a lot of stitching in. I got a lot of stitching in. I feel like I have a lot of projects to show you. Some of which you probably all just saw in the WIP parade. Hope you guys enjoyed that with all of my crazy plans and kits, and it was fun going through everything I have, and now I just want to stitch all of it. But I do have a couple finishes, which must mean that I get a bunch new starts, right? Finish one thing, start 2 or 3. That seems about right. So I do have some finishes. I have some new starts. And so let's dive in. So last week, well, first I'll show you my progress on Harry Potter book covers because I have been still stitching 100 stitches on that every day for full coverage fanatics, and just because I want to keep making progress on that piece. So here's the progress I made this week. Look at all of the purple, and this is like a little star because this is kind of the night sky that you can see, kind of dusk sky that you can see outside of this arch. So I'm working my way across. I'll be back over here in stone and archway, but for right now, it's been lots of fun purple. So that's got some good progress in this week. And then I was also just working on things for Magical Stitches homework, trying to finish up that, trying to finish up the last, it's like the end of the month. I'm trying to finish up all of the extra credit, which one I've abandoned. I'm not going to do it. But all the rest of them I finished up, and also the 24 hours of cross stitch across stick. 24 hours of cross stitch across stick. I said that right correctly. I have not had that much of my margarita yet. So just finishing that up and extra credit homework. So I'm not sure for the most part what I stitched for what. But I'll just go through what I worked on. So the first thing I worked on after I saw you guys last week was I did a little more work on the Friends collage. So you guys have seen this a lot lately, which is exciting. There's what it's gonna look like. And so I got more of the banner in, and I did, because I wasn't gonna finish out. I like being able to like finish these little icons, but I knew I wasn't gonna be able to finish up the whole sign. So I came down and did Joey's little blue lipstick from when he did the commercial, Japanese commercial, I beat you on, or whatever it was, with the blue lipstick. So that's my progress on Friends. And I'm thinking about using this for extra credit for book 6 in Magical Stitches, because we have to stitch on something that looks like a pygmy puff. And that's kind of stumping everyone. But somewhere I saw someone mention like anything like fluffy or fuzzy, and that little chick, like little chicks are fuzzy, aren't they? I'm gonna make it work. Get a little more progress on that in the next couple months. So that's Friends. Put that down on the floor because I've got so much stuff. I say that every year, or every year. Get it together this week, Erin. I say that every week, that I have so much stuff, but I do. There's like piles and piles of project bags. Okay. Also, I know this was for a extra credit because it was to stitch on something Christmas, and I was working on my Christmas list, and I had showed you guys a little bit of the progress I had made last Wednesday, but I finished up the 500 stitches I needed in that. And so this is where I ended up. So I got that whole little turkey on the platter done. And I changed out the Needleminder that was on there because I had gotten these new Christmas, well, not sort of Christmassy, yeah, a little snowy, like cottage, wintry. I got that from TopKnot Needleminder. So there we go. So there's my Christmas list. And I started looking at this and thinking, okay, if I do like one of these lines like every month, would it be done by next year? No, the answer is no. If I did one of these every month, it still wouldn't be done by next year. And when I started it in June, I think I started this in May or June, I thought, oh, maybe I'll have that done for this Christmas. I'm so delusional half the time. Okay. And then I worked on, this was also for extra credit. I did a little more work on Latte, and this finished off. I had used the little treasure diamond that I showed last week ornament for part of the extra credit. It was something, stitch on something with beads, or not with beads, like glass or spheres, and so project with beads worked. So I used that for part of it to finish it up, and then the rest of the stitches I did on this. And I still have thread hanging. So this is where I am. So I finished up the cup and did the little pedestal on the mug and started some of this little border band down here. So a little more progress on that. Since you saw it at WIP Parade, got a little more done on it. What else did I work on? Oh, then over the weekend, the next, I'm like flying through this, guys. We're flying. Maybe this won't be that long. Or I will start babbling and rambling, and it will be. So then on Saturday, this next part of the Stiach Along dropped. And I am now 2 for 2, guys, in keeping up with it. So there we go. There's Stiach with part 2. I'm kind of seeing what the guess was. I mean, if you guys are out there, if you're looking at this Diot, you probably have seen what the guess is. The guess is that it's the Golden Girls. I'm kind of seeing it, don't you? But it could go this way, or it could go this way. Who knows? But part 2 is done. So I think there's 11 or 12 weeks. We'll see how long I keep up with that, but I'm really going to try. And so far, 2 for 2, that's not bad. Better than I've done on Hello Pumpkin, that's for sure. And then this week for Magical Stitches, they're getting rid of our WIP album. Like, we're not going to have to use that anymore. But for this week, they asked us to make like a sort of a WIP album just for this week, where we listed 5 projects. And then they used a random number generator to tell us which one to work on, which I kind of like. If that's the direction they're going to go with it, I kind of like it, because my WIP album was getting kind of outdated. Like, there's stuff I had started I would have liked to have added to, and some of them had finished. So this was great because I could pick 5 projects, all of which I would have been more than happy to work on this week. And the one that was picked, I'm Ravenclaw, so we're WIP number 1. We're doing WIP number 1 on our list. So 500 stitches in WIP 1, but then for bonus, you can do 200 stitches in the other 4. So they're all going to get some work this week, but the first one, number 1 on my WIP list was, and one of these days I'm actually going to bring over the color cover picture, but Blue Flower Acorn Drum. Ever since they posted Jolynn's finish of this on the carrier, I've been wanting to work on this. So that came up, yay, number 1. So it got 500 stitches. I've already done all 500. And there they are. I've got almost, there's just a couple little details on the squirrels left. And then that whole center section of the top is done, with the exception of, I didn't do, you can see there's room for initials and the date. And this is A&T for Acorns and Threads, because this is a exclusive to Acorns and Threads. And it was sold as a kit. I don't know if they still have some or not, but you can certainly call and ask. It was, I thought, a great deal for the kit. And I love it. But I'm trying to decide, I'm either going to put A&M for, not A&M, A&E for Andrew and Aaron, me and my husband, or I'm just going to put my initials there. But I hesitated to do it and put in 2019 because I don't know that I'll get this done in 2019. I also have questions about how that's charted. I think it's charted 1/1, but I'm going to need to get some advice next week on that, which I've never done 1/1, but it'd be kind of fun. So anyhow, I love how this is stitching up. It's all silks in the kit, which I love, love, love. And so cute little acorns. So that's that. Acorn drum. And then the other ones that I've worked on so far from that album, I haven't done all the bonus yet, but I'm getting there. The first one was not really my second WIP in the WIP album, but next one I worked on was Lizzie Kate's Autumn ABC. And I got a start on that. Oh, it got creased. It's okay. So there's my 200 stitch start on Autumn ABCs. Got a little bit of the alphabet done and started. Here it shows with a button, but it doesn't come with the button, but that acorn is charted. So you can either stitch it or buy a button. So I am stitching it. So there's the top of the acorn. And these are the called for fancy floss, but this is the DMC conversion that's listed. So I'm kind of doing a mix where I think that you'll see the variegation. I use the fancy floss, but where I don't think you'll see it, I just use the DMC. So that's got its 200 stitches. And then I also put on there, since I just worked on it and I felt like working on it some more, I have put arranging vegetables on the list. And so I did another 200 stitches in that. And there's where I am on that. I was originally going to do all of the green and then come back and do the color, but when I got down here, I only had like 20 more stitches that I needed. And if I put up another, this is how weird I am. If I threaded another thing of green and started, I would have wanted to finish the whole thing, which would have been way more stitches than I needed. So I thought, well, if I do the red up here, because with the green, I like to I'm kind of following where I can and not jump more than one square. Does that make sense? So like here, I started here, and then I came over here and followed these around. So I would have wanted to stitch the whole thread, and it was getting a little late, and I just wanted to finish up the assignment. So I came up here and did the red. And I like the little pop of color. This is going to be fun to fill in that color. So that's arranging vegetables. Vegetables, eat your vegetables and stitch them. Stitch your vegetables. And then starts and finishes. That's all my like whips, but I had a couple finishes. Yay! First thing I worked on that I finished was, I don't think I have a pattern over here anymore because I just brought over the finish, which I ironed like a real floss tuber. I even ironed it before I showed it to you this time. Crazy. It's a September Lizzie Kate yearbook. Look at that. I got it done before September. Came out so cute. So September 1st, this weekend, I'll be able to switch that out of the little pedestal. And hopefully I'll get the autumn ABCs done and can switch that out sometime towards the end of September and also get the October yearbook done. What do we think? Oh, these go pretty quick, it feels like. They seem to be averaging around 1,000 stitches, and so they go pretty quick. But it just came out super cute. Love that. And then my second finish was an FFO. Loads of fun. I finished it. Isn't it so cute? This is going to be hanging up in my laundry room. It's all ready to go. I even put the hanger on the back. So I got these at Joann's over the summer. They were like on clearance. And this little piece of twine was the hanger for it, but it was supposed to hang this way. So the twine, you guys may even be able to see, I just cut it off. Like they were meant to hang this way. I cut the twine off and just with some E6000 glued it in there and then did a flat finish on this stitch with just a tiny, like one really thin layer of batting, and then just hung it up there with clothespins. And it is adorable. Oh, and then I glued a claw hanger on the back. So that's all ready to go up, and I'm ready to start the next one. So what do you guys think? What should I do? I've got Irony is the New Wrinkly and the Never Ending Cycle. I'm leaning towards Irony is the New Wrinkly because I just love a good pun. I'm kind of punny that way. So, yay! So that's going to make now 3 cross-stitch things hanging in my house. My husband's going to start feeling like, are we being taken over by cross-stitch? Yes. Yes, you are being taken over by cross-stitch. Wait till I finish something big and frame it and hang it on the wall. So, and then I've had, well, Autumn ABCs was technically a new start. Actually, that was a new start. But today is Play with Jax Day. Yay, our SAL starts today. And I've already seen a couple people have started and posted on Instagram. So it's hashtag Play Jax SAL. And look, I even remembered to bring the color photo over. So that is Playing with Jax Cricut Collection. I'm doing the alternate middle pumpkin that has leaves on it. and it's a little slightly different color, and that's a freebie. I'll link it below if you want to do a more autumnal pumpkin in the middle, or if you want to do this. I mean, I do love the white. I might just have to stitch it twice, or I might have to just turn this guy into like a fun little ornament. Ooh, maybe I should turn him into like some kind of little hanger or something, because he is so cute, little ghost pumpkin. So that starts today, and I couldn't wait. I started on it. Okay, I was a very responsible adult today. I got up, did my workout, got a bunch of work stuff done for the studio that I needed to get done. And then I reward myself with starting playing with Jax. So I am doing this on 32 count Valor Belfast. I didn't tell you guys anything about the, no wonder it was going so fast. I didn't say anything about fabric, threads, nothing on those WIPs that I showed. I kind of got to get it together today. I always put, I'm not particularly great about it in general anyway. I'm kind of hit or miss. So I always put all that information in the drop down box below. So you can always click that. It's got links to tons of stuff that I've rambled about. And he has like the names of any Flosstube people I mention, and all the WIP info. So that'll all be down there. But this I'm doing on 32 count Valor Belfast with all of the called for DMC. The alternate middle pumpkin calls for 1 thread gatherer silken color silk. It calls for autumn bouquet, which I couldn't find. So I picked out this autumn foliage one. And the beauty of that center pumpkin being in the middle and doing a center start was that I got to stitch with the silk right away. So here's my little tiny start so far. Let's see if I can fold it up so you can see it nice. There it is. So that's one of the leaves that goes on that center pumpkin. It's so pretty. What do you guys think? I realized as I started stitching that I normally kind of go back and forth, but then I realized I maybe didn't want the leaf to be stripy. So then I started going around with it, and I like that better. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to rip out the top and redo it, but then I feel like the variegation is going to be weird. So I would have to rip out the whole thing, I think, and redo it. Going more like around with that variegated silk. What do you guys think? I think it might be fine. You know me, I tend to not rip stuff out, but I didn't know. So there's my little start on playing with Jax. And if you guys, like, a bunch of people are starting today. We're pretty easygoing, loosey-goosey group. I am. So if you want to, you know, stitch along, play with me, it's going to be easygoing, loosey-goosey. So you can still start. It's going to take me a while. I'm not a super fast finisher because I tend to work in little bits on different things. So it's going to be going on for a while. And if you want a discount, if you want to join and you need the chart or fabric or threads or anything, Anne is giving us at Shepherd's Needle. Now I'm blanking on the name of the shop in Little Rock. All the information is below. Their phone number, everything. She's giving a lovely discount if you want to kit that up. Or if you need any part of it. If you just need some fabric, if you just need the flosses, just want to get the chart, already have the fabric and flosses for it. So come join along if you still want to. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to work on that some more this evening. And then I might not get to touch it again for a little bit because Friday, Long Dog Sampler SAL starts. And I'm very excited for that. I've been prepping fabric and threads for that. I'm doing Game of Swans. I'm very excited to start that Friday. So I need to finish up homework for this week though. So, and this is in one of my favorite diddly daddled designs bags. So, because my pumpkins. even though I'm not stitching the white pumpkin. Okay, that's all of my whips and starts and finishes. That was fast, right? Look at that, 25 minutes, that was fast. Probably because I didn't tell you any information about any of them. I just threw them up there. What are you gonna do? Okay, told you about playing with Jax. Long dog sampler. What else? Oh, Flosstube shoutouts. Yay! As usual, I'm watching lots and lots of Flosstube. And wanted to shout out a couple people that I've been watching that I adore and are fantastically fun. And so if you aren't watching them, then you should. I mean, I'm not trying to be bossy here. We all love to find new fun Flosstubers, right? So if you have room on your subscription list, and who doesn't, give these guys a watch. So the first one is Corey at the Silent Stitcher, and they are really fantastic. Corey's deaf, and so but has a like voiceover interpreter. So they Flosstube, or they record in sign language and has a voiceover. Love their projects. Everything that they're working on, I want to stitch. They're beautiful stitcher, fantastic finishing. Go check out Corey at the Silent Stitcher. And then this one, I love watching her, but I don't, like, she jokes, don't anybody come watch her because she doesn't want to break 2,000 subscribers. 1,200? There's a number that she's been close to for a while, and she's like, don't tell anybody about the channel because we want to keep this a small community, but it's Stitch M. And I'll put them below. And she lives in Britain and has the best sense of humor. Such a dry, witty sense of humor that I love. I love. She cracks me up all the time. And once again, fantastic projects, beautiful stitching. So fun. So those two are really, really fun. I watched them this past week. So go check them out. And then what else do I have left? Oh, playing with Jax. Finished off my acrostic for August, but I kind of cheated because originally I had D for Dog on Fire because that's the only bonus, like the only extra credit project that I had slated to do that I'm just not. I was going to do 500 stitches in a flame color, either red, orange, or yellow. Dog on Fire has a lot of flame color. And when it just came down to it this week, I just thought, I'm just not, I know that project might end up a UFO. It might, because I just thought I'm not doing it. Just not doing it. So I changed it to drum and worked on autumn drum. But I think Jen's also pretty easygoing, loosey-goosey. I think she's okay with me changing it up. But I got everything else done. So I did X for Christmas piece. So that was my Christmas list. S was for Sophia. T was for my Tingles project. I did my friends collage because they're icons. It's all iconic things from the show. T was Texture Mom. C was for Cat from Midnight Watch. H was, of course, Harry Potter book covers. D ended up being my drum because it's a drum finish on Acorn Drum. A was playing with Jax because I'm stitching the alternate pumpkin. See, that was clever. Some of them not so clever. That one was clever. And then Y was the Lizzie Kate yearbooks. So that's it. August is in the bag, guys. I've printed out September. I haven't filled it in yet. I haven't gotten that far in planning, and I need to look at the extra credit projects for the new book in School of Magical Stitches and Literature. But this is up. Jen has it available, Corks and Stitches in the Facebook group, and I think maybe also on her blog, or it'll be on the blog in the next couple days. I love it because how you just make it up. And it's a fun way to kind of just hold yourself accountable to stitching and maybe mix up what projects you're stitching on, or you can make one project fit every single one of those letters. See, get creative. Okay, So, oh, last thing of like kind of news, housekeeping. Look at this. My bra is showing. I am a hot mess today. It's warm. We're wearing a sleeveless dress. I have had a viewer contact me who lives locally. So this is really for local peeps. So if you're local, pay attention. And she works for the library system here and wants to help put together a meetup. So, a couple possible meetups because another local person and I were working on a meetup as well. So 2 possible meetups. The first one we're working on is Ben Franklin in Redmond on the first Tuesday of the month has like a UFO club. So it's for any type of crafts to work on any unfinished project. It's free. It's just time set aside in the evening on the first Tuesday in their classroom space. It's free, but you do have to call and register for it. I will say I tried to call last week and register for it, and they're like, oh, we don't have our September schedule ready yet, but call back at the end of the week. And I haven't done it yet. So I will call them back and see about getting on that schedule for the first Tuesday at the Ben Franklin in Redmond. However, this lovely other viewer who works for the library had suggested, and a lot of you had suggested the library, but she's kind of gotten in with the library, which makes it even easier. And so we were talking about possibly meeting at the Renton Library, but I need to know what would be better for more people. So here are the 2 things we're thinking. We're thinking either Friday during the day. So maybe like, I'm thinking of staggering it a little with the Ben Franklin. So maybe doing the 3rd week of the month. So either the 3rd Friday during the day, like starting at 10ish, and then we'd go to like early afternoon and then you can go about your day, or like Sunday afternoons. What works better for people? I know some people work, but I know not everybody works Monday to Friday either. So if you would be interested in doing a local stitchy meetup, either put in the comments below whether Friday or Sundays work better, or hit me up on Instagram or email, and I'll have contact information below. Because I could really do either. So, but let's get something local going. All right. That was not interesting to those of you who are not local. I apologize. However, now we come to the haul section. And that's interesting to everybody. Everybody loves to see new stuff. Oh, I did get some stitchy mail this week. I did get some stitchy kindness in the mail. And the first thing I'll show you is I had someone who won a giveaway. And seriously, you guys who win my giveaways, you don't need to send me, you don't even need to send me a card. But this lovely person noticed that I have never shown any color and cotton threads and haven't used them, and she was correct. And so she sent me some color and cotton to try. Isn't that so sweet? And look how gorgeous these colors are. Oh, I love them both. They are both like just right in my wheelhouse. So I'm really excited to find a project to try these on, because I hear so much fabulous talk about color and cotton, and I know lots of people are in like floss clubs where they get them every month. I just hadn't gotten there yet. So I'm really excited to try that. And so thank you for sending those to me. And then the second piece of stitchy mail I got was from Deborah at Stitch the Stash. When we had gotten together in New York, we were talking Hades, because I'm going to do Farewell to Anger start with at the New Year. New Start is going to be Farewell to Anger. But I have been kind of unsure about fabric count and threads and what would be doable. Harry Potter book covers is on 18 count with 2 threads over 2/1 on 18 count. And I love the coverage. It's super easy to stitch, but Farewell to Anger on 18 count will be enormous. Like, it's a big piece anyway. It will be ginormous on 18 count, which I'll do. I'll have that sucker take up the whole murder wall. That's fine by me. But I also was interested in the possibility of stitching it 1/1 on 25 count. I just wasn't sure if I would like the coverage or if my eyes could handle that small hole. Deborah so kindly sent me a piece of 25 count. That's what she stitches her hate on. And she so kindly sent me a piece of 25 count to try out. Yay! And that has helped so much to be able to see it. And so I did a couple test blocks for coverage, and I did one block in DMC black. And then I've heard so many people talk about how Anchor black has better coverage that I did a 100 stitch block of Anchor. So I'll get close and see if you guys can see. I don't know that there's that much of a difference between the two flosses. One, I think the coverage is going to be just fine. Because look back here. That's going to be just fine. So I'm excited because I found the holes easy to see. It was no problem stitching on it. So this has totally helped me make my fabric decision. I'm going to do Farewell to Anger 25 count 1/1. Which now means because I bought the floss, twice as much floss as I need. That's okay because I'm a big floss waster. And it's DMC, so it'll get used eventually. But in the to anchor or not to anchor debate, I don't know that there's a clear winner. Can you guys even tell which is which? Any guesses? Any guesses? Oops. The top is DMC and the bottom is anchor. The anchor to me looks, I don't know necessarily that the coverage is better, but the anchor looks a little blacker black. My LNS Thread Needle Street carries Anchor, and so it was really easy for me to pop by there and pick it up. It's inexpensive. I mean, compared to Fancy Floss, I think she was charging 70 cents a skein for it. So I could go either way. The Anchor does look a little blacker black to me since I have access to it. I will probably just use it, but there we go. Don't know if that settled any debate, but I was so thankful. Thank you, Deborah, for sending that because it made a world of difference to be able to touch it and see it and stitch on it. And now I feel really good about that fabric decision. So I just need to get fabric ordered and I'm one step closer to being ready to go with that. So those were the two pieces of Stitchy Kindness I got. I also went to, where is it? One of the things we did this week was my middle daughter, no, not my middle, my youngest daughter wanted to go thrift shopping to get some back to school clothes. Around here, as the college kids are going back to school, sometimes the thrift stores have some nice clothes. So she wanted to go see if she could pick up a few fun things at the thrift store. So we went thrift shopping, and I, of course, went to see if there was any cross-stitch stuff. Now, I found one or two fun cross-stitch things that I have put aside for giveaways. However, in the magazine, you guys gave me so much good information about cross-stitch magazines in the comments last week. And someone had said, oh, I sometimes pick them up on Stash Unload or at the thrift store. It never would have occurred to me to go to the magazine section at the thrift store. Bingo! Look what I found. I'm so happy with this find. I found the Halloween edition, the Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition from 2012. 99 cents. And it was actually half off. 50 cents. And there are so many good, look at this one. Rotted but not forgotten. There are so many good things in here, guys. So I think quite a few people had said that they pick up these special editions, and I can totally see how these Christmas and Halloween special editions might be worth it. Look at this. I'll fold it back so you can't see the pattern, but that's Ink Circles pattern, guys. Look at that amazingness. There were a couple others in here that I was just Lord, so good. So, so good. Oh, yeah, this one. My Primitive Hair. Look at that. Oh! Like, I'm kind of done with Halloween starts for this year, guys, but some of these make me want to start even more Halloween. So good. So I was really happy with that find. So hit up your local thrift store. Check out the magazine section because I had it. The other magazine I found was this CrossStitch and Country Crafts, July, August 1987 that I picked up because, one, I do Dimension Gold Kits stockings. Well, that's what I did for all three of my girls. And so I imagine once they get like married, have kids, I'll probably stick with that tradition, but look at the stocking. There's some good stockings. So that one was really good. But the reason I picked this up is because look what is in it. That's a Mid-Amish Life. Blitz Stitch is doing this, and I love it. It was published in 3 parts in 3 different magazines, and this is the center part that's in this magazine. That's in July, August 87 is the center part. And I don't think I would want to do the whole thing all together anyway, and I love that center part. I do like this one with the quilts. If I found that, I would maybe do these 2 parts together. But I could not believe, as I was like flipping through some of these old magazines, I'm like flipping through, I'm like, are you kidding me? $1.49 and gray tags were half off. I was pretty darn excited. My daughter found a couple sweatshirts. She couldn't understand why I was so excited about old CrossStitch magazines. But I was, and I will definitely be going to some more local thrift stores and looking at the magazine section. So that was thrift store finds. I also got an order in from Trish at Threads and Twine because I can't seem to stop. I can't seem to stop. I think she had posted on Instagram that she had gotten more Strawberry Fields Forever in. And since I'm apparently in a collect all the Blackbird designs kick, I love this one. Love it. Don't know when I'll ever stitch it. So I got that, and then I also picked up Blackbird. And I think that's it. That's all I'm going to get from this Magical Mystery series. Magical Mystery Tour series. Well, I have one more coming from 123 Stitch that was back ordered. But so I got those 2. And then it might have even been a month ago, I showed you guys I had gotten a big piece of reddish burgundy fabric from Stash Unload. And I said, oh, I had seen some ornaments from Hands On Design, but I couldn't remember what they were. Yeah, they were these. That's these. It's 12 Days of Christmas. But, so I got the whole series. And I haven't checked yet to see if that piece of fabric will be big enough for all 12. It might be. It was a pretty big piece. If it's not, then I'll get a different red, but I think it might be. And so, I don't know if I'll start those for this year or not. Or if they'll be a next year start, but I love them. And it doesn't come with the little hangers and stuff, which, I mean, it didn't say that it did, but I need to figure out where I can get those, I think, because I really like them. Yeah, or maybe I'll finish them without. I don't know. I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. And then I also had an order come in from Shakespeare's Peddler. Let this be a lesson to all of you with online shops. Send a newsletter. She had sent out a newsletter, and she sends them, you don't get spammed with them. It's just every once in a while, but there's always fun stuff to look at, and she shows you what's new in the shop. And one of the things she showed was this R&R fabric, and she said, I was so excited to see this because I haven't seen this color in a long, long time, so I snapped it up. It was a beautiful color, so I went to her site and snapped it up, and it is 32 count Blue Moon Java from R&R. I got it in 32. I think she had it in 36. Don't know if it's still available on her site, but it is gorgeous. She also had another color. Let's see. That's about right. It is so pretty. Like, I kind of want to go get, I got a quarter, but I don't know. I love this. Love it. So I went and snapped that up. She had another color, Lucky Penny, I think, that I didn't get. It's kind of minty green, but I love that one. And so then while I was on her site looking at the R&R fabrics, I'm perusing around and of course found some others that I thought I just want to try. So I got Stars Hollow and Old Town Blend. And these two, not gonna lie guys, look really, really similar. They're pretty much, it's probably they're about the same. Yep, this is a little darker and that's about it. But I love that fabric. They're beautiful fabrics. And then I also got Plum Street Blend. This was the called for plum pudding, but I couldn't find it anywhere at the time. And so I used something else. So I got it really kind of just to see how close of a match I got. And it's really pretty. It's kind of a khaki color. So, but this one, beautiful. Love, love, love that color. Oh, and vintage gray. I went a little nuts. But all of the fabric that I had, not all of the fabric, but a lot of the fabric that I had bought has already been like used or is already kitted up. And so I love gray. I really do. I love this vintage gray. It's a beautiful color. But a lot of the fabric, and so I'm like, we'll call this replenishing of the fabric stash. How about that? And then I had been eyeing this pattern of hers for quite a while. And so I threw it in the order, Antique Locks and Keys, and it's going to work beautifully for a year-long challenge on School Magical Stitches. That was just a good excuse. I was going to buy it no matter what. And then this one has been on my wish list. And at times I couldn't, it was out of stock or I couldn't find it. And so I picked it up because she had it Penny Autumn. I love that penny rug. I think, who's stitching this? Somebody's stitching this. Like, of course somebody's stitching it. I mean, somebody that I watch on Flosstube. Valerie? I think it might be Valerie stitching in the barn. I think I could be making that up too. She's also a fantastic Flosstuber. Go watch her too. But I've been wanting to stitch that. That might get started next month. What's it called for? 36 count Wren. Pretty sure I can use one of these pieces. It'll be a little bigger on 32 and that's okay. So that's it for haul this week. It ought to be with all that fabric I bought, don't you think? Good heavens. Yep, that's it. So that's everything except for giveaway. Just have the giveaway left, guys. Look at this. I thought it was going to be long, and you're going to be out of here in record time. Record time. So, last week I'd asked about magazines. You guys gave me so many great ideas. One, quite a few people had suggested an app, a Readly. I know Jan Hicks has done a video on the app. Like, it was a special video that she did on that app. I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but I'm going to go check that out. I do worry about getting digital, like a digital subscription to magazines, only because I find that my digital patterns now are languishing. Since I discovered that you can buy printed patterns and not just kits, I find my digital patterns are kind of languishing because they're just on my hard drive. So I'm starting to toy with, do I need to print all those out? What do you guys do with your digital patterns that you get from Etsy? Because I tend to forget about them. I was in my file with all my cross-stitch patterns the other day because I was looking up the exact dimensions of Farewell to Anger. And as I was in there, I was looking through all of my electronic all my PDF patterns. I was like, oh yeah, that one's really good. I want to do that. Oh yeah, that one's really good too. I want to do that. But I forget about them because I don't see them because they're not right in front of me. So I'm starting to think, should I print them out, put them in a binder so that I see them more often? What do you guys do with your PDF patterns? So that's my concern with a digital magazine subscription, is that I would maybe flip through it, but I would never stitch anything from them. However, quite a few of you suggested the library. Of course, the library. I use the library for audiobooks all the time. Why didn't that occur to me? So I'm definitely going to check out the library. Obviously, the thrift store was a heck of a suggestion. And it was just also really great hearing what magazines you guys like, which ones you guys have felt worthwhile. You all are a trove of information. And selfishly, one of the reasons why I do Flosstube, because I still feel a little newer, like I'm still learning a lot, and you guys are a trove of information. And hopefully I can give you some giggles along the way to make it worthwhile. So I had 26 people. So this is what we were giving away last week. Was this Whine a Bit You'll Feel Better Lizzie Kate pattern. And I had 26 people either tell me about their magazine subscriptions or that they wanted to stitch the Whine. So 1 to 26 on the, I put it, you can see it says 1 to 26 on the number generator. Number 2, it's coming back with low numbers this time. Number 2. So number 2 is Faye Harris. Faye, you won! Yay! I'm gonna circle your name, put a little star by it. Hit me up below. My email is down there, or you can send me a Facebook message and let me know your address, and I will get that out in the mail to you. Yay! So this week, while I also found this magazine. Since we were talking about magazines, I'm going to give away a magazine, and I found this one at the thrift store as well. And it's another CrossStitch and Country Crafts. It's July, August of 1990. And one, I picked it up because I love that stocking. And it actually has 2 stocking patterns in here. I'll show you the other one. There's that one. And it also has the pattern to make this little movable Santa ornament. So, I mean, that looks like kind of complex, but how cool would that be? You little pull on it and his arms go and it's all cross-stitched. And then there was one other pattern in here that I thought was really good that people might be interested in. And it was this, A Pride of Patriots. I mean, I know it's end of summer, but you can get a jump on next year. But I thought that one was really pretty for all of you patriotic 4th of July stitchers. So that's going to be the giveaway. CrossStitch and Country Crafts, July, August from 1990. So that's going to be this week's giveaway. And why don't you guys, there was something I was going to ask. I can't remember what it is. So why don't you just tell me what your plans are for here in the US. We have a long weekend, Labor Day weekend. And so let me know what your plans are for the long weekend. Are you going to start playing with Jax with us? Or a long dog? Do some grilling? Enjoy the last of summer? Let me know. Let me know what your plans are for Labor Day, and you might get CrossStitch and Country Crafts. So that's all I have for you today, guys. It's been a good week. I hope you guys enjoy the long weekend if you have one, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.